Wow, last week was a great episode, but this week, I was not expecting this. And you can probably tell due to the tone of my voice, I just actually finished watching 117. So, you can already guess by the title, this might infuriate some people since I happen to have strong opinions on Dragon Ball Super. But I hope that people watch this, all the way and take it with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. Regardless of how good it may or may not sound to you. Regarding Universe 2, there are some good qualities about this universe, and there was some that was shown to us previous episodes before this tournament even started. One example is the God of Destruction, Hellas. And let's be real, the God of Destruction from Universe 2, she's a looker. And I did like the fact that out of everybody, other than Vados, Hellas was actually another one who gave Goku some sort of credibility, because everybody had a lot of animosity towards him specifically because they felt that him being the conduit for creating this tournament, they immediately were pointing their fingers at him, saying that it was his fault that the universes were going to get erased. And then it was revealed that universes with low levels would have been erased immediately anyway. So Goku gave them a fighting chance. So regarding the two warriors that got eliminated from Universe 2, their ignorance and arrogance about how love was gave them some sort of insight when they saw 18 and Krillin together. And why am I mentioning this? That moment right there, to me, represents a lot of Dragon Ball fans that like to view this series in the way that they want to. It's not right or wrong, but my point is, however you perceive this, I've said this multiple times, it will change your outlook on the series. So, I liked how Universe 2, despite how, cocky, arrogant they were, it's a little bit of an understanding when they see that the love that they perceive is not necessarily, it may not be the same as, another universe's love. When I said on my last review that Ultra Instinct would not be acceptable for Vegeta, and this is not because I feel that it should only be for Goku because Goku is my favorite, or I feel that Vegeta is inferior. It has nothing to do with that. It's due to the fact that whenever I see the difference between the way Goku and Vegeta fights, it just doesn't suit him. And I'm glad that, ironically, we stated this in this episode, how that kind of style or mindset doesn't suit Vegeta. To me, Vegeta's instinct is when he just goes for it. He just goes all out, and I just feel that fighting will come naturally to him, because he is a genius, without a doubt. But people like to say that, he doesn't get any great scenes, or he's always second to Goku. And I don't think that's necessarily Goku's or Vegeta's fault. This is due to the fact that at the end of Z, Vegeta had proclaimed Goku as the number one. And when we see in Battle of the Gods, Vegeta does this thing where, he claims that he wants to be number one and be better than Goku, which is fine, but I felt it was odd how he had already established the fact that he was willing to let go of his pride and just accept the fact that Goku was number one at the time. So why can't Vegeta just be powerful because he wants to be? And I feel that this is where the writing and the fans' perception of this gets a little bit twisted, because sure, I don't mind when Vegeta tries to surpass Goku, but I feel that, at some point, he kind of needs to stop doing the same thing. He needs to kind of try something different. Because at the end of the day, you know, just because you do the same thing as someone else, it might not necessarily be the same thing. So I feel that he should just do something for him. And people might say, well, him being stronger than, or I'm sorry, him being stronger for himself and using Goku as a motivation is a great thing. Perhaps, but why does he feel the need to use Goku as a reference as to how strong he should be is the mistake. Why not stop using Goku as a reference and motivation? And why can't he just have an infinite potential? Why can't he just strive for something infinite? Whether or not he reaches it is besides the point. It's that his mindset is what holds him back. So why can't he just try something different? Which is why I feel that the whole writing of him trying to surpass Goku was a mistake, because I felt that it was a defining point in his character in Z when he stated, and he was happy that he had a friend like Goku who was the strongest being in the universe. And he didn't mind that at all. If anything, he was clearly happy. So I feel that it shouldn't be about him being stronger than Goku. It should just be him trying to reach his ultimate limit, whatever that may be. And on to the last part that you can see in this title. What people fail to realize about Dragon Ball Super, and especially in this episode, a majority of people don't like interactions between characters. They don't like things they feel that could be considered filler. But what they don't realize is, throughout Dragon Ball, I'm referring to classic Dragon Ball when Goku was a child, there was a lot of interactions. It wasn't necessarily all about flashy movements, you know, power levels, being the fastest or strongest. When I watch this episode, it gives me a classic Dragon Ball feel, because this teamwork between 17 and 18, it caught me off guard, because I haven't seen something like this in a while. If Dr. could see his androids, he would be rolling in his grave right now. The androids that were meant to kill Goku is protecting Universe 7 and are, you know, they're just so powerful that, you know, they were on a different level. Even Future Trunks referenced this, that the ones in his universe weren't even, you know, nowhere near their level. If anything, he had somewhat of a stalemate. He just happened to, you know, beat them later on. So the teamwork between these two was phenomenal. And, you know, I keep saying to myself, you know, this is something that I shouldn't really be surprised about. But then again, we haven't really seen anything from these two that insinuated any teamwork. Because when they were introduced in Dragon Ball Z, it was more like, you know, they beat up somebody, they were just stronger than someone else, and Cell came and gobbled them up, more or less. The only time we've ever seen anything similar to this was in Future Trunks' world, when he had to fight 17 and 18. They did display teamwork, but it didn't seem that impressive because he beat them with ease. And hopefully this kind of style is brought back into other episodes where it's not just about fighting. You do see some sort of character interaction and development, because that's what made Dragon Ball great from the beginning. And I'm just gonna plug this last thing in. You know, I never laughed so hard before. I was laughing my ass off when I saw this. This was a great way to kind of change the pace of this episode. And I was just not expecting that. So that's my take on this episode. As always, this ended up being a longer than what I had anticipated, but I don't mind if you guys enjoy what I'm saying and you clearly like the videos. I will keep reviewing each episode. And I thank, the people that subscribe. And I'm starting to gain a following, despite how small it may be, and I appreciate everything. So, until next time, thanks for listening.